Right, I'm just going to come out with it. I feel like a fraud. I feel like I've lied. Or maybe it's just complacency. Alright, I'm just completely shooting off the hip here. Those terms that I've just used are pretty strong to describe what I've been doing recently. It's nothing really bad, just going to talk about it. So I don't know if you know, but I appeared in a magazine for the first time ever just this month. Digital Photographer, the magazine here in the UK, and it's a very nice spread when I can find it. Lovely images, good reproduction, a load of bump, and a few tips as well. Really proud and really pleased to have done that. But what I'm meaning is that something I mentioned in there is my basic proliferation for post-processing, knowing Photoshop, doing loads of stuff on like after the fact, and all like a lot of my work is really based on the post-processing side stuff. It's probably 90% of what I actually do. So just a few weeks ago I happened to be on YouTube and I saw a technique being used on there which I've been looking to do something with for many moon. What it was a video from Piximperfect. Do check those videos out, they are amazing. And basically what this tutorial technique did was steal the colour grading from one image and apply it to your own image. So what I've always wanted to do was basically, because my work is fairly impressionist, I love Turner and Monet and people like that, was to actually hopefully steal their colours and apply them to my ICM work. So when I saw this technique come along, I was blown away, but not only by the complexity of it, but also what I wanted to like immediately was that this is a technique I can use. So I did a lot of experimenting with it and got one good result out of 6 or 7 tries. So it's not the result that I'm after. But by watching that technique video from Piximperfect, it really made me realise how so far behind my current post-processing techniques are. I'm way behind the curve on the latest workarounds, using so many more tools in the Photoshop program. We know it's a massively advanced program these days, way more advanced than version 4 when I started using it. It's come on so far, but it feels like I am still only using those few small elements that I do use that were probably present in version 4. I'm not growing with the program. So that is kind of where I feel like I'm a fraud, because in this magazine I wrote that I started learning post-processing and all that kind of stuff before I even had a digital camera. I put all my effort into that side of things, and in there that's what I don't predominantly work on. But I've realised that I am just so far behind the curve, and so I'm going to really have to try to catch up during this year. So at the minute I'm currently watching so many more Photoshop tutorials, just really to learn as much as I can so I can adapt. One of the tips I wrote about in here, and it was tip number 5. Prioritize learning processing. That is what I put down in my tips, and I just haven't taken that tip myself. I'm stuck in when was version 4 out? A long time ago. But I feel I haven't learnt anything new in Photoshop for probably 10 years. I'm still using very, very old techniques. Just last year I was with a group workshop, and a client that was on it showed me how to use smart objects whilst also using plugins, which horribly I almost just completely disregarded because I'm so stuck in my ways. So I really need to get back into learning processing and advanced processing, not just open up a plugin and apply a layer and another layer and a few other things. I need to really get back into the nuts and bolts of a deep dive on Photoshop, because I just feel I'm missing out so much. There's techniques out there that could drive me much further forward, much quicker, help me work quicker, work more accurately with colour. Loads and loads of things out there that would be working on, and I just haven't been. And I just feel like I'm dispensing this information and I'm not taking it for myself. So take what you want. Take this as a rant against myself, or a rant that, well, not a rant's probably the wrong kind of phrase, but I'm just kind of sharing my light bulb moment that I've realised that I really need to get back into learning more advanced processing than the simple stuff. I know a lot of people out there only use Lightroom and are quite happy with that, but I've always been a Photoshop user. Yes, I've been a Lightroom user since version 4 to speed things up and cataloguing and all that kind of stuff. But Photoshop has always been my playpen, my sandbox, my playpen, and I've used it, like I say, for years. But it's never been upgraded. That's what I feel like. So I really need to get back into things and really get back down behind the scenes really with Photoshop, and learning learning the tools so I can apply those tools to my image creation. So whilst the subject of this video is quite personal to me, hopefully that you can get something from it that you can actually take away, prioritise with your own image making, whether that is learning more on your camera for the more practical side of things, or learning new techniques for Photoshop or Lightroom that you don't use a lot. Even in Lightroom I only use a smaller range of tools, and to be honest it's almost got to the point where I could preset most of them, rather than being much more intricate and more comprehensive with it. So there you go, just a short little video about my current thought processes at the minute, and where I was going to say where my priorities are going to be going further on from here. Maybe it's not priorities because I've got my exhibition to work towards that's coming up in the summer, so I don't want to dedicate too much time into learning new techniques before I'm about to have to produce a load of new work, or configure old work to sit with that. But if you are interested in that article, which I feel a little bit of it is a little bit of a lie, do pick it up. It is Digital Photographer, and it's issue 211, and it's the March issue. So do pick that up if you can find one. I had a little bit of trouble. Maybe photography magazines aren't quite what they used to be, or certainly not held in the same number as what they were in the past in our newsagents. Certainly here in the UK, they had one copy left on the day of release when I went into the newsagents. So it just shows you how quickly these things are shifting, or what little stock the newsagents are actually keeping a hold of. So there's a hint of what the current business model of magazines is like. If you look in the description below, there will be a big fat link to Piximperfect. The guy's got 1 million subscribers. He's not short of subscribers, but he's an amazing tutor. Learned so much in just a handful of videos. So do check him out. really advanced stuff, really helpful stuff. Even some of it, I've gone back to watching videos that are a couple of years older off of his channel. Still learning so much, and I can't believe I didn't know these things or didn't keep up with them. Really annoyed with myself. So there you go. So thank you for watching. Please like or dislike or share and comment and all that kind of stuff down below. You know what the score is. Hit subscribe if you're not already. Ring the bell for updates in timely manners. And Tuesday night edits is always every Tuesday night live, 7:30 UK time, for live editing streams, and you may even see some experiments in Photoshop as I learn things along, which we just did in the last one. So maybe want to check that one out. Hopefully, and it's in that corner. Right, we will go before I drivel on far too long. Thank you for listening to this rambly, ranty kind of video. If you got this far, you deserve a bloody medal. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Till then, see ya.